Finally, something has been done with car dealers to keep them from royally screwing you over. And I'm talking about dock fees, miscellaneous fees, bullshit fees, fees in general that they just roll in, and you go for a car that's supposedly $2,000 less than another dealer, and by the time you get through all the fees, your local dealer was actually cheaper. Yeah, we're going to get into all that and more right after this. Guys, before we get into today's video, I gotta talk about the giveaway that we have going on the channel right now. We have the 1969 Charger with the Hellcat swap, as well as the 1970 Charger with the 392 swap. Both of them work perfectly. You can go check them out on the site and learn about both. Extra entries are currently up until they sell out. They're a little bit over 76% currently. I'm guessing by the time you're seeing this video, will probably be somewhere around 80 or higher than that. Once they sell out, everything goes from $1, goes back down to $1 for one entry. If you want the best opportunity to win on either one of those and the Durango, which is also up there, make sure to go over to tksgarage.bigcartel.com. Again, that's tksgarage.bigcartel.com. Link in the description down below. So let's talk about this. So the FTC, sounds like an Eminem lyric, right? So the FCC won't let me be. Never mind. The FTC won't let these dealers be. As they drop a bombshell on car dealers that now all fees must be bundled into the price that they advertise online. Do you understand how huge, how big of news that is? Dealers can no longer Mickey Mouse play games. Whatever the price is the price they have to show on the website. And if they do something different, massive fines could be imposed on these dealers. And I'll give you a prime example of how this works. Let's say you live in Houston, Texas, but you find a dealer, say in Jackson, Mississippi. And this dealer in Jackson, Mississippi is advertising the same vehicle, same spec, same everything that you want from the car that you were going to get in Houston, but for $2,000 less. In that case, it makes sense to travel to Mississippi to pick up that car as opposed to buying it in Texas. This is just called common sense. So you get there to pick it up, and then you find out, you know, a lot of dealers have this, $6.99, $5.99, dock fee, right? Well, then you get there and you find out that they have a $2,000 dock fee, and there's some other bullshit GPS thing that they're going to install, and you have to buy their special edition lug nuts or whatever else is there. And before you know it, you're now paying $1,700 more than if you would have just bought the car from your local dealer, and you got to pay now to drive it home or have it shipped. The FTC is putting an end to all of that. When you advertise the price of a vehicle, that is the price you have to sell it for. Nothing extra, nothing else. If you want to include anything else in there, it needs to be listed in the price when you sell it. That is the new rule from the Federal Trade Commission. They are not playing any games with this. None. Which I'm glad they're finally getting to this bullshit. Now, the only other thing I would want them to dig into are warranties. I experienced this on the last BMW I purchased. I bought an extended warranty. I think it was like $9,000. Covered supposedly everything until it was time for them to actually replace things that would be covered, like the radio and stuff that says that there's no exclusion in there, but they wanted to fight over it and go to arbitration and do all this other stuff. That needs to come to an end. If you say that you cover something, then you have to cover it. And if you don't, then it needs to fall back on the dealer to cover it. And that will keep those dealers from selling bullshit warranties. That's the next thing that needs to happen. Because a lot of these dealerships now, they don't even care. They don't care about the veracity of a company, like what their credibility is. If they're selling a warranty, they just say, oh yeah, we'll cover it. And then they don't. Or they disappear, or they fold up. And the dealer's like, oh, sorry, it's out of our hands. We're not the company. Well, that's the next thing the FTC needs to do. They need to get on these dealers' ass about that shit. But this is a very positive step in the right direction, getting rid of these junk fees. No, they're still going to be there, but now dealers can't play the bullshit game of my price is lower online than this place until you get in, and then you're just like, fuck. That's what they do. They literally play the game of, let me just waste this guy's time for 4.5 hours, and then they're just going to sign the paperwork just to get out of there because they want the car. And y'all got to stop doing that. The reason why they get away with this shit, and they've been doing it for so long, is because y'all accept it. Y'all need to learn to walk away from a dealer if the deal is not the way you expect it. Highly recommend you go check out, if you haven't already, and he's getting close to 100,000 subscribers, OC Motivator's channel, because he gets into this stuff with dealers all of the time. There's a bunch of really good tutorials on how not to get screwed. So I highly recommend you go check that out. But let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below. What do you think about the FTC dropping this massive bombshell on dealers? I know dealers are bitching and complaining about it, like, oh, we're not going to be able to be competitive. Yeah, you will. Now you just have to be transparent, and you can't play fucking games. I think this is great. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Give the video a big thumbs up if you like what I do. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And as always, stay petty, my friends.